Afternoon, Patriots. Welcome back to the show. It's me again, Shannon Fox here, Devoted Patriots 2 channel, and I have got some good stuff for you. I got a little comedy closer to the end, but more than that, I've got some really breaking news right here on the front side. I'm talking about stuff you will not see on Fox News, MSNBC, none of the mainstream media stations. It's actually Alex Jones' InfoWars. Got none other than the great Mike McCormick, who was a White House stenographer for Vice President Joe Biden for 7 years. So this guy knows what Biden's up to day in and day out. As a matter of fact, Mr. Mike McCormick has been on Matt and Romeo's channel, American Patriot News. Did an interview with them. Basically broke out some information that day. He is definitely a whistleblower when it comes to talking about what he has seen behind the scenes. He knows all about Obama. He knows all about the side deals going on in Ukraine during the Obama/Biden administration. And he spills it all. I encourage everybody, after you finish watching my video here, to go watch that full interview. It's on the Gateway Pundit. It's a couple days back, but it's Mike McCormick lays it all out. Barack Obama getting blackmailed by Joe Biden about his homosexuality. No doubt about it, folks. This is a great, great video. I'll play you a few minutes of the clips on it, of the things that I thought were most pertinent to the entire hour plus long video. But I do encourage everybody, go check it out. It is definitely an eye opener, and he tells it all. And I have to believe every word this man says is credible information, because he doesn't just have his version of it. He was a stenographer. He's got the transcripts. Go figure. And he's writing a book, breaking all this out, exposing all this, and I'm just glad to hear it, glad to see it, and glad to be able to share it. I love it, folks. All right, let's get into this. I've got
set up the. They have known something about Obama that, out of his personal life, that Obama had to hide. So he makes Biden his vice president. Biden always has this saying about Obama that he told him, "I want to be the last guy in the room after everybody leaves when there's a big deal to be done. I want to be the last guy in the room with you." That's probably when Biden told him, "Okay, you're going to do this with me because I know this." And if you look at Biden,
and what is that thing that Obama's a homosexual?
Yeah, I think that's what he was talking about.
What else would you say about Joe Biden?
Well, he's evil. I mean, he's deeply evil. He's a win at all costs politician. He had operatives, I think, and that's how they got him in. And he's been hiding behind the scenes ever since. And so he's a guy who has to be watched carefully. He's willing to destroy our country to keep himself as the vice president. I mean, as the president. In 2014 was a really bad year.
Sorry, I had to pause it cut it right there, folks. But he said something I don't think is very YouTube friendly. He said he thinks Biden had something to do with causing the whole the Wu flu. Leave it at
that. Biden wants to be president. One of the things that happened was there was a big meeting that he did a trip with Xi Jinping again. At this point in time, Hunter Biden is deep in the pockets of the Chinese Communist Party. In December of 2013, Joe goes to Beijing, and I'm on the plane. That was the Air Force 2 trip where Joe and Hunter are together. And there's a lot that comes out of that. That's the Bohai Harvest RST deal, where the Biden crime family makes a pile of money off these basically the Chinese Communist Party affiliated businessmen. But the other thing they did, and I talked about this last time I was on your show, was they started investing in this company called Metabiota. And Metabiota was deeply involved in the
I won't get into what Metabiota was deeply involved in. I don't want to get in trouble over here. But there's a lot of things going on in Ukraine, no doubt about it, that really are not YouTube friendly. That's why this is Alex Jones over on Rumble or on Twitter as well. But I do suggest checking this guy Mike McCormick out, if not this entire video. But I got some more clips of it that I can play you here on Not So Friendly YouTube. Listen to this.
Finishing up with this area, you've been inside, worked for Trump, worked for Biden. You've been in the middle of, while you're there with the world leaders, creating a record of it. We'll talk about a fly on the wall. What does the Democrat establishment do? Because I've always thought and seen that Obama had a lot of control of Biden, but I agree he's shifting more towards Hillary. Do you think Obama was really the power behind it, or was that made up? I mean, or is it all just been Biden is in control?
I think, people talk about Obama being the puppet master and Biden being the puppet. And I think it was the other way around. I think, Obama made his mark in the Democratic circles in 2004 with a big speech at the Democratic convention. And Joe Biden at that time knew he wanted to run in 2008. So he marked this guy. And he probably had his operatives go look into his background. In 2006, when Obama makes it through and gets in the Senate, Biden tucked him right under his wing. He was the chairman of the Foreign Relations Committee. He tucked him right under his wing and put him on the Foreign Relations Committee so he could get some foreign policy experience. Probably Biden at that time thought he would be the presidential candidate and have Obama as his vice president. Well, Obama flipped the script on him. But Biden may have known something about Obama that, out of his personal life, that Obama had to hide. So he makes Biden his vice president. Biden always has this saying about Obama that he told him, I want to be the last guy in the room after everybody leaves when there's a big deal to be done. I want to be the last guy in the room with you. That's probably when Biden told him, okay, you're going to do this with me because I know this. And if you look at Biden,
and what is that thing that Obama's a homosexual?
Yeah, I think that's what he was talking about. What I knew, I don't know for certain what Obama was behind the scenes.
But you were watching this as his stenographer. Wow.
That there was something going on that was what Joe Biden knew.
But you saw Biden basically say, I got Obama by the short hairs.
That's my feeling was behind the scenes. Yep.
All right, we're going to break.
The thing is, this election is staring down the barrel of an invasion of illegal voters. And that's the real problem. That's the fear that we face.
And I want to speak to that, but let's start at the beginning. Describe what it was like the first time you met Joe Biden, what he's really like behind the scenes. You spent a lot of time with him.
First time I flew with Joe Biden on Air Force 2, I walked on the plane and he was dropping an F-bomb as I walked by his cabin. I never heard anybody use an F-bomb on Air Force 2. We were going to Moscow. We get to Moscow and he's in a meeting with Vladimir Putin. This is 2011, March 2011. Vladimir Putin bitch slapped Joe Biden in that meeting. And I wrote about it in that book back there. Joe Biden authorized in 2020 crack up of the Democratic Party. Putin basically lured Biden. Putin's an old KGB guy. He knows his guys have been studying Biden for months, probably. And they set this thing up. They knew all they had to do back in those days to get him to talk at length was asking about his grand experience. So Putin starts the interview off saying, you have a lot of experience here in Moscow, because Biden would go there as a senator and work on denuclearization stuff. So that started Joe talking, and right in the middle of one long story, just as he goes, I've been around a long time, Putin shuts off the lights, shuts off his microphone. There's a bunch of television press in there. The television lights are off, and the Russians are yelling, get out, and they get out. And he basically stopped Biden mid-sentence. And Biden didn't say anything like, hey, I wasn't done talking, or hey, what's going on? Hey, I've got this to tell you about. He just clammed up. That's when Putin knew he had Joe Biden right where he needed him. And he's been doing that to him ever since. This Joe Biden bravado is fake, and Putin knows it. Putin saw it for himself. He proved it. And shortly after that, in the summer of 2011, so Biden is beginning this relationship with Xi Jinping in 2011, and they're both vice presidents.
Let's go back for a minute.
Yeah.
So Biden is talking to Putin, turns the lights out.
Wow. Amazing stuff, folks. Just glad I was able to find that and bring that to y'all today. This is not something you'll ever see on mainstream media. I do go over and watch Alex Jones sometimes on InfoWars. Maybe I should do it a little more often, but definitely I'm going to start following Mike McCormick more often. He has got some stories to tell. Woo! I love it. I love it.
Dive soon. People should get your book.
So let's jump into several video clips that I found today. A little bit of mental anguish from the left. Folks, this is Whoopi Goldberg saying she'd vote for Biden even if he does poop his pants. She even poops her pants sometimes. Don't let me spoil it for you, though, folks. Here, let's get into this. This is hilarious. This is how much Whoopi loves Biden.
I don't care if he's pooped his pants. I don't care if he can't put a sentence together. Show me he can't do the job, and then I'll say, okay, maybe it's time to go. Now, he had a bad night the first time that he went out and debated with Kamala Harris. And everybody wanted him to quit then, say you can't talk to women like this, or you're doing this wrong, you're doing that wrong. He came back, said, you know what, I got it, and gave 4 years. So yeah, I have poopy days all the time. I step in so much poo you can't even imagine.
Dang.
Now, I'm not running the world, but I don't
Thank
know anybody
God.
who doesn't step in stuff at some point. So I'm just simply saying, yeah, there are 2 debates. And if he can't do what he needs to do for the second debate, I'll join any crew that says get rid of him. But loyalty to me, if you are doing the job, I might not like everything you're doing. I don't like it all. But I'm going to stand behind you like those guys stand behind the guy who should have been the person people were talking about saying, yeah, Biden had a bad day, but this guy.
I'll vote for the guy that poops his pants and you don't know what the hell he's saying. She thinks that is the guy that should be president because he's competent enough maybe to be in an old folks' home at best. Ooh, this is bad, folks. They're trying to vote for the corpse, and it ain't sounding too good. Now, speaking of crazies, I've got another crazy here for you. Maxine, old Mad Max Maxine Waters had a bad hair day. Now, the commentary doesn't really do anything for him, but I just thought I'd bring you all this. This is hilarious. I guess she couldn't get her wig on straight. Let's see if I can find the right clip here. These are all just pictures. The many, many, many pictures. Oh, here we go. Finally got the video. All right, here we go. This is devastating. Watch Miss Maxine Waters.
They've seen President Biden. They've lived through his presidency. They've also seen former President Trump. They've lived through his presidency. They've heard these arguments about democracy, about the fate of the election, and yet Trump is not only winning, but winning increasingly by a larger margin. So what is the plan among Democrats to change that trajectory? It sounds like you're talking about saying and doing all the same things, but do you believe that something needs to change?
I think we need to keep working.
Oh, she had a bad hair day. Her wig must have been sliding. Thought I'd bring y'all that. I did enjoy that. All right, I got some more for you, folks. Stick around. Now, Biden made a few gaffes at his NATO meeting, but the main objective wasn't about Biden. It was about Ukraine. The whole purpose of this NATO meeting was to try to placate World War III coming in, saying Ukraine needs more. We need to put them in as a part of NATO. We need to make everybody that's in NATO support Ukraine, mostly the United States. So we're going to send them some more F-16s, otherwise known as Russian targets. Just the facts, folks. Russia just the other day bombed an airfield in Ukraine and destroyed a huge arsenal of their planes. So as it goes, seems like another waste. But at any rate, I've got one of the many times Biden goofed up at his 75th year NATO summit. Now, listen to this word. I have no idea what this word means, but listen to what he says.
For 5 additional strategic air defense systems.
Let's do that again. It's something about air defense system.
For 5 additional strategic air defense systems.
For 5 additional the green systems. Whew. All right, folks, that's enough of Biden. Let's get out of that one. He's kind of disturbing at this point. It's more than sad. It's sad for our country more than it's sad for him. But let's go ahead and jump into a couple more things I want to bring to y'all. I thought were definitely worth discussing.
Came to the Detroit Economic Club and stood there in front of the Ford Motor executives and said, if you close these factories as you're planning to do in Detroit and build them in Mexico, I'm going to put a 35% tariff on those cars when you send them back, and nobody's going to buy them. It was an amazing thing to see. No politician, Republican or Democrat, had ever said anything like that to these executives. And it was music to the ears of people in Michigan and Ohio and Pennsylvania and Wisconsin, the Brexit states. You live here in Ohio, you know what I'm talking about. Whether Trump means it or not is kind of irrelevant because he's saying the things to people who are hurting. And it's why every beaten down, nameless, forgotten working stiff who used to be part of what was called the middle class loves Trump. He is the human Molotov cocktail that they've been waiting for. The human hand grenade that they can legally throw into the system that stole their lives from them. And on November 8th, Election Day, although they lost their jobs, although they've been foreclosed on by the bank, next came the divorce, and now the wife and kids are gone, the car's been repoed, they haven't had a real vacation in years, they're stuck with the shitty Obamacare bronze plan when you can't even get a fucking print set. They've essentially lost everything they had, except one thing. The one thing that doesn't cost them a cent and is guaranteed to them by the American Constitution, the right to vote.
Yes.
They might be penniless, they might be homeless, they might be fucked over and fucked up. It doesn't matter because it's equalized on that day. A millionaire has the same number of votes as the person without a job. One. And there's more of the former middle class than there are in the millionaire class. So
That's
on
right.
November 8th, the dispossessed will walk into the voting booth, be handed a ballot, close the curtain, and take that lever, or felt pen or touchscreen, and put a big fucking X in the box by the name of the man who has threatened to upend and overturn the very system that is ruling their lives. Donald J. Trump.
Yeah.
They see that the elites who ruined their lives hate Trump. Corporate America hates Trump. Wall Street hates Trump. The career politicians hate Trump. The media hates Trump after they loved him and created him, and now hate him. Thank you, media. The enemy of my enemy is who I'm voting for on November 8th. Yes, on November 8th, you, Joe Blow, Steve Blow, Bob Blow, Billy Bob Blow, all the blows, get to go and blow up the whole goddamn system because it's your right. Trump's election is going to be the biggest fuck you ever recorded in human history. And it will feel good.
Woo. Powerful message, folks. I love it. I love it. All right, folks. I got one more little clip here for y'all. Nothing but good stuff. And as if y'all haven't seen enough CNN, but it's good news. I like to hear it. This is a Democratic Senator, Michael Bennett. He tells CNN Trump's going to win.
My colleague Dana Bash reported that you, Senator John Tester, and Senator Sherrod Brown all said during that lunch that you don't think President Biden can win in 2024. Is that true?
Well, it's true that I said that, and I did say that behind closed doors, and you guys and others asked whether I had said it, and that is what I said. So I figured I should come here and say it publicly.
Why do you think he can't win in November?
I just think this race is on a trajectory that is very worrisome if you care about the future of this country. Joe Biden was 9 points up at this time. The last time he was running, Hillary Clinton was 5 points up. This is the first time in more than 20 years that a Republican president has been up in this part of the campaign. Donald Trump is on track, I think, to win this election and maybe win it by a landslide and take with him the Senate and the House.
That's what I'm talking about, and that's what they're terrified. Not just Trump will be back, but we're going to take the Senate and the House with big numbers. I'm not talking about a couple. They're talking 15 or 20 seats in the House. Even 2 or 3 in the Senate would be awesome. Like, subscribe, and share to Voted Patriots. Hope you enjoyed the videos today. Over and out.